ANC MP Dr. Makosi Khoza has again made an impassioned plea for the president to step down. She's been under fire from within the ANC for publicly backing a secret ballot when MPs vote in the motion of no confidence against President Zuma next month. Last week, Khoza said her daughter had received death threats.
In case I do not make it on the 8th August 2017, Mr. President, that you know as the President, you are haunting the South African nation. Please, Mr. President, step down and respect those who elected you. Mr. President, 11 million South Africans voted for you, Mr. President, and not just 1 million ANC members. You may wish to contest the ANC presidency in December 2017, but South Africa no longer needs you, Mr. President. Please save South Africa. Save jobs, Mr. President. Save the economy, Mr. President. Save women, Mr. President. Save South Africans from this pain.
Well, let's get more now on what came out of those discussions. Our reporter Chriselda Lewis joins us live from Rhema in Randburg. Chriselda, good afternoon. Another significant round of talks from civic organizations, and I suppose significant too that it's being held on Mandela Day. And we understand that Pravin Gordhan has made his way to Rhema after having been at Lily's Leaf in Rivonia.
Well, certainly, Natasha, that's very important to note that after the former Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan had shared those sentiments about President Jacob Zuma stepping aside, that is a sentiment that we've heard here at the Rhema Church, where the likes of ANC MPs, Dr. Makosi Khoza, have called on President Jacob Zuma to step aside. And a little bit earlier on as well, I did speak to Derek Hanekom, another ANC MP, who also indicated that come the 8th of August, I think certainly something that South Africans are going to be watching very closely now about how ANC MPs will vote in that motion of no confidence against President Jacob Zuma. Derek Hanekom basically saying to me that he will vote with his conscience. And when I asked him about some of the sentiments that have been shared by some within the ANC, including President Jacob Zuma, who did indicate that some of those who are calling for him to step aside are part of forces for regime change, he basically labelled that as complete nonsense. So not quite strange that I find that the former Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan is here today as well, because given him sharing those sentiments at Lily's Leaf, here the very same sentiment is being shared, and many are asking the question on a very significant day, as you did point out, where the legacy of Nelson Mandela is being very closely looked at and commemorating the former elder statesman. Many are saying that this is not the country that the former President Nelson Mandela would be satisfied with, and that all the gains of those who fought for the liberation struggle in South Africa, those gains have now been reversed. So what has certainly happened is that you found the likes of many of those that others perhaps would describe as disgruntled, such as Popo Molefe, as well as Dr. Makosi Khoza, and Mcebisi Jonas is also here as well. Some would say perhaps those are people within the ANC who are disgruntled, and perhaps those who have been criticized for speaking out about the current situation within the African National Congress, and have now decided to join a group of people, including these civil society organizations, who want to address some of the most pressing issues that are facing South Africa, including state capture, corruption, and the abuse of state power. What is now happening is that the groups have been divided into commissions. That has been open to the media as well. They will go and discuss and come up with a number of resolutions. But I guess certainly what will take place here is an intensification of the action that we have seen against some of these pressing issues that continue to face the country, and how these civil society organizations, including Save SA, Outer, and a number of others, are planning to move forward with a program of action to put pressure on government to deal with some of these issues. So Pravin Gordhan has agreed to speak to us in the next few minutes. I think he will share those sentiments once again as well. But the sentiment quite clear here today is that while the legacy of of Nelson Mandela is closely looked at today, and there's a celebration of his life and a call for South Africans to remember the ideals that he stood for. These civil society organizations that are gathered here with many others from different sectors, including business, are saying that the shape that South Africa has taken is not one that Nelson Mandela would be proud of, and it's up to all those who are standing up here today to say that something seriously needs to be done and solutions need to be found to ensure that the issues that have been plaguing South Africa, which have very much been in the front line, need to be dealt with.
Absolutely. Chriselda, thanks so much for that. We'll leave it there and perhaps try and get that interview with you and Pravin Gordhan as soon as that takes place. Well.